We had an absolutely fantastic request for a video, and it isn't nutrition or fitness based or really science based, but rather, how do you have such confidence and self-love? This was a question. First off, I was flattered for them to ask, how do you have such confidence and self-love? I work really hard on myself, and so I'm very happy inside. I have a lot to give other people. I've also had a great life. You know, I haven't dealt with a lot of the terrible things that other people have dealt with throughout their lives. And so in that regard, even though I've gone through some difficult situations, of course, I would say relative to maybe the next man, it's been a little bit easier for me, right? And I'm very thankful for that. But how do you achieve self-love? Let's start there, right? Self-love and confidence. They pretty much go hand in hand. But when it comes to self-love, you have to be happy. You have to be, so how do we achieve happiness, right? Well, you have to be proud of yourself. You have to be proud of yourself. And the only way you can be proud of yourself is if you work hard on what you want in your life, what you've said to yourself, I need to be happy. Whatever those goals are, you should sit down and write them down. That's the first step. Write down your goals. Starting tomorrow or today, however soon you want to embark on this, I want this. Then write, how do I get that? I have to do this. How do I get the first thing? In detail. Step 1, tomorrow I have to do this. Next day I have to do this, and so on, right? So map out your goals. You're 40% more likely, at least, some research says at least, to achieve your goals if you write them down, and especially if you handwrite them. You seem to remember something a lot better. Now, making yourself proud of yourself every day. Sure, by doing good things, in general, you will typically be happier, right? The joke's on anybody that thinks, I'm going to be happy, I have these impure thoughts all the time, I do terrible things, I try to get one over on people. You go home with that every day. You go home with that every day, and if at some point you decide to be honest with yourself, you're not going to be happy at the end of the day. You can do very well for yourself while doing all good things. Good things for yourself, good things for other people. And you can't really do good things for other people unless you've done a lot of good for yourself. And this comes back to improving yourself, being proud of yourself. Say one thing you wanted to do was say, all right, I want to feel better, I want to look better, I want to be healthier, I think maybe I'll be happier then. Not even to say there are biochemical imbalances in people with, say, depression. You have lower levels of dopamine or serotonin, or the catecholamines and things, right? And they show the Mediterranean diet has success in improving outcomes in people with depression, improving their mood. You affect your gut bacteria, that regulates your mood, right? Among many other things that we always talk about here. But your diet, your nutrition plays a major role in how you're going to think and what you're going to feel. And you might not always see it like that. You know, in fact, most of us probably at first don't, you know? We think, okay, it's a relatively separate thing. Why do I not feel good right now? Why do I not feel happy or proud of myself? Well, because maybe, say you ate some processed shitty food in the beginning, full of added sugar, refined flours or carbs, whatever, you know, and you get off on a nutrition right here. But maybe you did that and you felt good in the moment, or maybe you did something bad, or maybe you cheated, or maybe you littered, whatever the hell it is. And later you don't feel good. Don't think of how you're going to feel doing it at the moment. Think about how you're going to feel later, after you've done it. It's hard to get up and go to the gym, but you're going to feel great after you've done it. So that's one thing, is don't seek immediate pleasure. Seek the true fruit in life, in success, and find joy in hard work towards whatever your goals are. To find joy in hard work is to discover the fountain of youth. Pearl S. Buck, one of my favorite quotes, I think is so true, right? And this hard work could come, you know, by just thinking purely about things, you know, by not doing drugs and not having a clouded mind, being able to look at things objectively, you know, so that you take things for what they are, never lying to yourself, right? And so, you know, if you're going to map your goals out, you have to do something, at least, you don't have to, but, you know, my recommendation is to do one thing towards those goals every day. And we've said this before, One Wellness, one thing. Just do one thing, take one step. It could be a really small step. Today's step could be writing down the goals. Tomorrow's step could be mapping them out further, and so on. It doesn't have to be going and doing a big thing, going to the gym for 2 hours if you want to improve body composition. It could be skipping the soda, or it could be having half soda, half water. You need to be honest with yourself, and you need to make yourself proud of yourself. If you're not actually proud of yourself, it's never going to work. And that takes a lot of effort to truly be proud of yourself. It takes a lot of effort. You can't lie to yourself about that. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It never will. Now, a lot of people might think, okay, I'm going to take these steps in the right direction towards things that I want, things that will make me happy, things that I should do in my life. Hold it right there. There's no I should do in my life. There's no I should do based on what society says. You decide what you're going to do. You make your own rules, as long as you show everybody else respect around you, obviously, right? You make your own rules. You don't need to worry about checking off boxes that society tells you need to check off. You're going to make your own boxes. I think this is one of the first steps here, right? And I obviously don't know everything about this, but this is just, in my experience, something that has worked for me. I wrote down my goals, and I said, for example, what are my life goals? Well, my life goals are to help as many people as I can possibly help. That's my purpose that I gave to myself. I have positive energy and whatever knowledge I have that I can give to people. And I generate it myself because I work hard on myself every single day, and I'm genuinely proud of myself. I can never fake that. And so I have a lot to give. And so that, to me, is my major purpose, to improve the lives of as many people as I could possibly find in this world and touch, and that could be in chiropractic, it could be in motivation or fitness or nutrition or anything that I have an expertise in, I can share with people, right? Even just love, But, I define that. And so if I know that I'm working towards that every day, then I'm happy. I'm proud of myself, right? I have self-love. Now, do I have self-love if I said, I should really go to the gym right now? I haven't gone in 3 or 4 days. And I said, no, I'm going to sit here and just relax, and I'm going to enjoy, these chips or whatever. Like I said before, simple, guys. You're happy at the moment, but later, you're not proud of yourself. You're just not. Sometimes resting makes you more proud of yourself than going to the gym, though. I worked 12 hours 2 days in a row. I'm so tired, I can barely move right now. Should I go to the gym, even though I didn't go the past 2 days? Well, it's actually better for my body to rest at this point. So I would be proud of myself doing that. But what did both of those things take? They took me being fully honest. Fully honest. No bullshit excuses for anything. Full honesty. That's enormous. And I think you can help yourself to achieve full honesty with yourself if you have untarnished, pure thoughts. Completely pure thoughts. Drugs, they can put you in a different reality. Often drugs will put you in what you think is a non-stressful non-reality. Think about that. But then you come back to reality and it's stressful because what you did was the drug to get away from whatever you wanted to really do for yourself, to make yourself proud of yourself, what you really wanted to address. In reality, typically when you do drugs, they take you away from a non-stressful reality if you had just done the thing you had to do, like study for your exam that's coming up, for example, and they put you in a stressful non-reality. Because then you come back and the stress is there. Be proud of yourself. Write out your goals. Do one thing every day towards whatever those goals are. So that was one goal of mine. So then there are other goals that, go along with that. And if I want to help as many people as possible, I said in the sub lines, what do I have to do? Another major goal of mine was optimize my health. Be the healthiest, happiest person that I can ever be, right? But really, the way I wrote it, happiness, comes with achieving all my other goals and making myself proud of myself and all this stuff we're talking about, right? There's obviously a lot to it. But make my body the best working, healthy machine optimize my health, my mental and physical performance to the greatest degree that I can. And I will be happy. That is a goal of mine. If I do that, additionally, then I can achieve my other goal of giving everything I want to give to other people. So you want to start by changing the world? Start by changing yourself. Start by changing your own life. And it's going to be harder first. You're going to have to sit down, you're going to have to get up, and you're going to write things down that they seem like, okay, these might be easy. These are things I could do. You know what? You can do them, but it's going to be extremely a lot harder than just writing them. When you start doing it, you're going to want to quit often. You're going to want to. You know, there were plenty of days where I didn't feel like making a video for When Wellness, for example, over the past 4 years. And I'm not patting myself on the back. I choose to do it. It's something I do. That's it. There's nothing else. It's something I do. That's what I do. I decided it already. There's no maybe this or maybe that. I'm doing it. You're doing it or you're not doing it. You know, maybe that doesn't hold true if you try to push a mountain over, right? It's unrealistic. But for the vast majority of things in life, you can do a lot more than you thought, than you think currently. So, you know, bolster your mental fortitude and achieve more for yourself than you would ever imagine by starting with one little step. And you're going to be so happy and proud of yourself every day just for doing that, that you will feel good. Here we go to the joy, back to the joy, finding joy in hard work. You will feel good just doing it. You will feel good just driving to the gym. You will be happy. If that was a goal you set, who knows what it is. But you will be happy just going there because you know what you're going to get after. A great feeling. You'll be happy just going to bed, getting in bed early because you know the sleep is really good for you. You'll be happy cooking that whole food from nature, putting the salmon in that pan, even though it takes more effort than ordering a pizza and having it delivered, because you know it's good for you. You know you're being true to yourself. Never lie to yourself. That's one. That's the first big thing, really long, that I wanted to talk about, right? So then confidence. So where does really confidence come into all this? Well, if you improve yourself a lot, you're probably going to be confident as a byproduct, right? So if you improve yourself a lot, you're going to be very confident. Try to find somebody that has a great physique, right? You could say on top of that, say there's people who were born with good looks. Say they have good looks, right? And say, you know, they are working hard every day. Or even just say they look good and they aside from working hard, they eat great, right? So they feel good. They eat great, so they feel good. Even aside from the writing down stuff, all that kind of stuff. They have a great diet. They eat whole food from nature. They look good. They look in the mirror. How are they probably going to feel? Now, there are caveats. Obviously, somebody's whole family dies the next day. They're going to be upset. You know, they're going to go through tough times. You know, just because they have a lot of money doesn't mean they're going to be happy, obviously, right? Money's only as good as what it can give you. And I think, in my opinion, good health and time are the most important things. Good health is, going on vacation whenever you want, or buying your mom 80 hours a week who works really hard, those are important. Getting the organic blueberries in the grocery store, you don't have to think about it. You can just throw them in the cart, things like that. But if somebody really improved themselves and works hard on themselves, it's hard to not be confident, right? It's hard. I would say majority of those people, not everybody, are pretty confident and happy. Majority, right? Now, that's also only if, you could look great and you could eat all, but if you have impure, shitty thoughts all the time, good luck, right? The other big thing that comes into play with confidence is preparation. If you don't like to speak, if you are worried about a test, if you're worried about that job interview coming up, First off, if you can't change it, don't worry about it. If you can change it now. Don't worry about it. Either way, don't worry about it. You should never worry about anything. And again, this is my philosophy, so I shouldn't say you shouldn't. But the question was, how do I have self-love and confidence? So I'm telling you, right? For me, this has worked. Okay? So when it comes to being prepared, when it comes to being confident, being prepared is essential. So if you know exactly what you're going to talk about. You don't like to speak. Know exactly what you're going to talk about. That's actually a good example because we do a live video. We don't read anything. But I know exactly what I'm talking about. You think I didn't sit there and say it? Well, you think I just on a whim, I got, and some stuff I know well enough that I could just, everything is off the cuff, not a lot of study. But I study. I write stuff down. I write it down. I'm not going to just get on and start talking about something I don't know about. No way. First off, what the hell am I going to share with anybody? I don't know shit about it. I'm not going to share anything. Or even if I don't know it very well, I wouldn't waste my time sharing anything about it. You're well prepared. You're going to be confident. That comes in so many different ways. All right? You're going into that interview. Think of all the questions you need to ask, you want to ask. You're going into that test, study everything. Rewrite it 3 times over. You're going to go in there. You're doing that so that at the moment, you don't have to think about anything. All you have to do is react. React. You don't want to think in the moment. You want to be able to just react. You train in a sport to constantly catch a ball, throw the ball, catch the ball, throw the ball, catch the ball. When you're playing in the game, are you going catch the ball? No, you just catch it. You just catch it. Because you've trained so many times. Now you're at the test. When you studied more than you should even probably have studied, when you over-prepare, which is almost no such thing, right? And you go into the test, you don't have to think about anything. You just pick the right answer. You know it. And then you can have that confidence. You're not worried in there. You're so confident. In fact, you're excited to fucking destroy it. You're excited. You're excited for whatever is coming at you in life, that you're going to crush it. You can't wait to get a piece of it. Instead of being worried at what's coming at you. That's a metaphor for life. All these things happen. They come at us, Even when a kid first gets their license, as a kid, I thought, how do people not just cross that double yellow line and just hit each other all the time? This is every day. People just, I'm terrible. This is a terrifying. I looked out at a jetty and I said, look at all those rocks. I'm 6 years old. How am I going to get across all those rocks? You know what I did? I got on the first rock. I hopped to the second rock. I looked at the third rock and I thought, I could hop there. I got the license. I got behind the wheel. I said, just got to stop at the stop sign. Just drive in the lane. Just turn. Simple. It's always much more intimidating, especially in the beginning, before you do something, especially when you look at a lot at once coming at you. You look at a lot at once, but if step by step you take it and you take care of every potential problem that could come, and you minimize the risk of something going wrong, which it still can, it's still, the point is, right, you'll probably be confident, you'll probably be happier, all this tied in with self-love. Aim for 100, landed at 95. That's an expression that I like. I don't know if somebody's actually said that. I'm sure something along the lines of that. Nobody's perfect. So you overstudied for the boards, you got in there, and you weren't worried. You said, kicking back, bop, 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 answering them left and right. I feel great. You still got 96%. Imagine if you aim to pass it. You get crushed. You get a 40. Because you're not perfect. You're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. So you aim for 110 so that you get 100 on the test. That's it. You devote 9 hours to getting sleep so that you get 8 hours. You aim to eat the best you could possibly eat by filling your fridge with all these great whole foods. You don't even have a choice to pick something bad, that you can order a pizza every now and then. It's that same concept, right? Nobody's perfect. Aim for 100, land at a 90. Prepare yourself well. Be honest with yourself. Write down your goals step by step. Every day, work towards what you have determined is your purpose. What are your goals? And that's something you might not figure out in a day. It might take a lot of time. So you could chip away at something like this. but just make some steps in the right direction. And you know, hopefully hearing this was one of the first ones, you know, or at least to get you to take the first one. So that's what we got for you guys today. You know, I got the chills. I want to help as many people as I can. So I hope that helped. Happy birthday, Kendi Pasquale. Happy birthday, man. This was for you. You got some motivation. You didn't really get any scientific facts on your birthday, so I apologize about that part. Usually When Wellness is good for at least something like that. Not today. But this is for you, man. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ken, my brother-in-law. Happy birthday to you. And many, many more, man. I hope you had the best day today. Love you. Happy birthday. Happy your day in the book forever of When Wellness. Who's on here? Let's say what's up. And we're going to go. Erica, how you doing? Brave Dave, I love it. Hugo in. Verse Kinky Sabrina. Sincerely Mike, Frank, Benny Flores, Steric Lee, Dave, what's up, brother? Be some nice. What's up, killer? Scalligan. Hippolito, what's up? How you doing? Greg. Aunt, what's going on? I love you, man. Nello, what's up, dude? How you doing? Camrod, Welker Thomas. Teague Muscle. I'm sorry I saw that late, but, you know. Noriega. Broadstar. I don't typically let people in on the live. Sibby, we've had some people think of weird stuff try to do. Pharmacology. Insta Aaron. Chris Presco. If I met you in person, it might be different. Forlick. Baker. Baker Mansmith. Mag, what's up? That was a great time today. It was awesome seeing you in there. And the big guy, you know. Ashley, what's up, girl? How you doing? Anthony Morando, Mr. Donut Killer. Dave, you're the beast. Carlos Castro and Scott Hayes. As for now, you guys. Hey, love you too. Appreciate that, Mr. Donut Killer. And Fred Ed, Conan the Bodybuilder. So we got for you folks. We'll see you tomorrow, baby. Not sure where, not sure when, but we'll see you then. Have an awesome night. Go do something great for yourself. And happy When Wellness. See ya.